I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I really hate being a Debbie Downer on books. And this one, 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City by K.J. Parker. Is it K.J. Parker? Is that what that is? Heard so many good things about this book for many years on a lot of top lists and da-da-da-da-da. Finally got my hands on it and geez, not for me, not for me. I guess I'll just, if you have not read it, I'll tell you a little bit of what it's about. It's about this guy who, he's a bridge builder, he's an engineer. He somehow finds himself inside a walled city with no other army personnel, no superiors. It's literally just like the townspeople and I think a couple other maybe town officials. Even the emperor is kind of like bedridden. So basically, he takes control of the city and the defenses. That's basically all you got to know. He's. This is so hard. Let me tell you something. This book is in first person, so it's just him. We're riding around in his head for the whole book, and this guy is such an arrogant jerk. He's cocky, he's dismissive, he's belittling. He's just and he just loves to talk. He loves and in this case he just loves to hear himself think. What he's really doing in this book is he's I guess writing a journal or basically writing his story after the fact. So what we're reading is all his musings of what happened before. But there is just so much in here where he just rambles on about a lot of the times it's nothing. And it's one thing I hate, and this is me personally, because I tried to read what's this other one, The Assassin's Apprentice, this Robin Hobb book, and it's first person too. But I like that character, but I do have a problem with first person stuff because I don't need to know every thought a person has. I don't need, and by that I mean like it's not just observations or descriptions of people. It's the description of a person or something, and then their every single thought about that person and something. So it just becomes this big long thing to the point where even when someone's being introduced into a room and it was just like, well, who are you? And then we get a whole block like this about their thoughts about this person who just walked in. And then, oh, on the next page, well, my name is this. And, well, apparently he didn't know who I was because when I saw him last time, and you're just like, it takes 3 pages to get 3 lines of dialogue from these people. And you're like, can we move it along? Move it along. So that's number one, or I guess one and two. The main character is a jerk. And he just thinks and says so much. And you don't know what. I mean, look at this. It's just block text. There's so many pages that are just block after block after block. And that's all just his thinking. And sometimes you get like dialogue within these blocks. So he's like, and then so and so came over and asked me if they could do this. And I told him that it was all right, but then they questioned this. And so I said, you know what? Don't worry about that. You just let me worry about that. You go on. And so you're just like, for me, that doesn't work. And especially with this character, the problem is he's a jerk. He knows he's a jerk. And even at towards the end, he says, hey, you know, some of this is embellished. Some of this I just wrote to make myself look good. And you're like, okay. So yeah, that's the biggest problem. So I don't care about him. And because he's so dismissive towards other people, you're not able to really get attached, I feel, or at least I didn't, to the side characters. There's a couple of times he shows he cares if they're okay, but even the people he likes, you know, he'll write down, he'll say, like, you know, that was a pretty good idea they had. I wouldn't tell them that. In fact, I had that idea first, so what does it matter? You're like, you're just such a jerk, such a jerk. There are some cool parts with the engineering and the actual battle moments with catapults and trebuchets and doing sneak attacks, setting things on fire. This stuff is interesting. What's not interesting, again, is just the main character and when he has to deal with the factions within the city because they have to, you know, assume new roles. Since everybody has left, we all have to work together. Even these two gangs who don't like each other. Hey, I need He gets the two bosses together. He's like, I need you guys to work together, okay? You don't have to like each other. I'm not going to make you work together, but you have to do your job, and you have to do your job so we as a city can survive, and then you can go back to hating each other. And there's so much of this that is not. It just seems like there's more drama that perhaps he causes. And I think this would be so much more interesting if it was told from several viewpoints, maybe someone who's in charge of making the city run. And then we get to ride along with somebody who's up on the walls every day. And then we get to be ride along with somebody who's like, sending messages back and forth because they've still got the sea and the boats and the port. I think it all comes down to that main character. And I'm not gonna keep going on this. No need to talk about spoilers. It's just okay, one spoiler. And if I've talked you out of reading this, then stick around. If you don't want to know this spoiler, I'm just gonna skip to the very end and tell you about this guy. At the end, he just walks away. He just walks away. They get some reinforcements, some people show up, and he's like, "Oh, you're here? All right, well, I'm done. Not my problem anymore. Screw you, screw them. Yeah, you tell them this, I don't care, whatever. Bye-bye." He doesn't even care. I mean, he cares for as long as he feels he has to, and then he's out. So why would I care? Why would I care? Glad he got that arrow to the back. I mean, it was just like, be gone, be gone. So yeah, I hate being a downer on books. It's just this character, the way he thinks. This first person stuff isn't always the best for me, especially when it's done like this. Everything combined, and I forced myself to finish it. I did finish it. Even that last little bit, was it the about the translation of the book, and he's like, it's not the most trustworthy source, but it's the only thing we have. And it's like, okay, there's another thing that says you can't believe a word of this, really. Take it with a grain of salt. The main character tells you he embellishes things or leave things out or makes them look better. And then you get the second part that says, we're not really sure if this is trustworthy. So it's a big fake story. Okay, that's enough. What am I going to read next? I don't know. I need some kind of palate cleanser. Maybe I need to go back. Redwall, those are always fun books. Oh, what have I got? I've got some more history stuff. I don't know. Help me. Recommend something to me. You've seen the books I've been reading. I'm taking a break from Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've got a couple, The Greatest Night, and I've got The Longest Afternoon about Waterloo. I know nothing about that, but it's a very short book, like 80 pages, so why not? And then I need to find something else to dive into. I've got some other John Gwynne on my list. Still thinking about reading The Lord of the Rings. I've never read The Lord of the Rings. But The Hobbit, I read The Hobbit, a year ago or so? Didn't really care for it. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm getting back into the reading. I took a little time off, and I'm getting back into it. And this is not helping. This is not helping. So anywho, that's it. Give me recommendations. What should I read? What's a standalone something I can blow through that's a lot of fun? 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City. Sayonara. Thank you so much for watching.